What is going on YouTube? My name is Lucas and today we're going to be talking about another company that is very heavily involved in the air mobility, really kind of pushing that air taxi type business. I'm extremely excited to see really the growth of this sector and what it's going to be truly capable of doing. As we know, we're still a couple years away from really seeing this entire thing take over. The company I'm talking about is Archer, and it is going to be doing a SPAC merger with ACIC, and we're going to get into that entire thing. So if you're interested in Archer, you're interested in air taxis, and you're interested in air mobility, I suggest you stay tuned right after this. But before we dive into this entire thing, I ask that you guys smash that subscribe button, smash that like button, comment down below, and now it's time to get into the video. Let's go! This sector really is starting to burst on the scene. From a stock perspective, from a SPAC perspective, I mean, this truly is going to be a very relevant sector. The reason I say that is because you have air taxis, you have air mobility, and everything that can come with that entire thing. I mean, it's going to be amazing. Now, some of the things I understand is that some of the infrastructure is going to have to be built out. Obviously, not every single one of these is going to need a skyport, but it is definitely a direction in which some of these are headed when it comes to a drop-off and pickup point. And like I said, not every single one of them is going to need a skyport, but that is going to be very relevant as we continue to move forward. Obviously, there's more and more and more companies that are starting to come out. Obviously, you have the likes of eHang, which I did a video and you can see right here. I did a video on Lilium, which is another one, as you can see right here. And then you have Joby, and now we're talking about Archer. I definitely think that this is going to have a major impact here in the future when it comes to air mobility, a style of transportation. I mean, you're talking about things that are autonomous. It's absolutely amazing, and that's why I really wanted to provide information on this company. So let's just jump right in and see what Archer is all about. So swinging on over here, Archer, a leading urban air mobility, as they refer to it as, is UAM, company and developer of all-electric vertical takeoff and landing, which you're going to see is EVTOL, vertical takeoff and landing. Aircraft and Atlas Crest Investment Corporation, which is the SPAC, currently trading on the New York Stock Exchange, which is the ticker symbol ACIC. A special purpose acquisition company today announced they have entered into a definitive agreement for a business combination that would result in Archer becoming a publicly listed company. Obviously, this has happened a couple days ago. This isn't new breaking news, but this is still pretty relevant and still pretty new. It says for a business combination that will result in Archer becoming a publicly listed company, it is anticipated that the post-closing company Archer will be listed on the New York Stock Exchange with the ticker symbol ACHR. I like it. I like to hear that, and that's something that you look forward to as a SPAC merger. It's going to be pretty cool. Based in Palo Alto and led by co-founder and co-CEOs Brett Adcock and Adam Goldstein, Archer's mission is to advance the benefits of sustainable air mobility and become the leader in the new era of unmanned aerial mobility. A $1 trillion plus market. That's exciting right there. When you're talking about a massive, massive market, you're talking about $1 trillion to be had. That's amazing. Plus market. I mean, that's exciting. According to leading industry research, Archer is developing the world's first commercially viable all-electric UAM platform that will move people throughout the world's cities in a fast, safe, again, there it is again, when you're talking about any type of drone, you're talking about air mobility, the number one thing you start to hear is safety. Again, there it is, safe, sustainable, and cost-effective manner. The fully electric vertical takeoff and landing aircraft is expected to be capable of traveling distances up to 60 miles at 150 miles per hour using technology available today and will transform how people approach everyday life, work, and adventure while benefiting from the environment in a future zero emissions world. This is particularly important as urban density continues to grow. I could not agree more. Obviously, like I said, I've done videos on EHang, I've done videos on Lilium, and I think that this is definitely something that we're going to start to see here in the near future, and it's going to be an exciting time. Before we dive into a ton of information on Archer, truly, I'm going to break down exactly what we can expect from the SPAC merger. So let's dive right on in. It says the business combination agreement is expected to provide approximately $1.1 billion of gross proceeds to the combined company, assuming minimal redemptions to fund expected future growth, including a fully committed $600 million common stock PIPE, with participation from leading strategic and financial investors, including United Airlines, Stellantis, and venture arm Exor, Baron Capital Group, the Federated Hermes, Kaufman Funds, Mumbandala Capital, Putnam Investments, and Access Industries. Holy smokes, there's some big time companies and a mouthful of companies right there. Additionally, Ken Moelis and affiliates, along with Mark Lowry, are investing $30 million in the PIPE. Pro forma equity value of a merger is expected to be approximately $3.8 billion at the $10 per share PIPE price. Archer has also signed an aircraft purchase agreement and collaboration agreement with United Airlines as part of the company's commitment to decarbonization. And obviously we're going to get into that a little bit more, but I wanted to provide that information just so we're aware going in. One, who are the major players that are partaking in this, SPAC merger, how much we're looking at, and what we can expect after the deal occurs. So really a lot of good information right there. So now we're going to really start to dive in and break down exactly what we can expect from Archer, what we're looking forward to from Archer. And this is just, like I said, this is where it gets really good. So here we go. I'm going to provide you some highlights as far as what we can expect right now. It says Morgan Stanley estimates urban air mobility to be up to $1.5 to approximately $3 trillion industry by 2040. That is massive. That's a lot of money right there. I mean, that's a ton of money that can be had as this thing continues to progress and we really see it develop. I like to hear that. Highly experienced team with over 200 years of combined, vertical takeoff development experience. Unique technology, design driving superior aircraft performance, safety, and mass manufacturing. Again, the major point, safety. $1 billion in orders from United Airlines, an option for additional $500 million of aircraft. Absolutely phenomenal to already have that in the back pocket. Strategic collaboration agreement with Stellantis, the fourth largest automotive manufacturer in the world by volume, with expertise in high volume composites. I think that is all very significant. I mean, it truly is. So then they continue on, and this is actually pretty cool. It says, Archer is building the world's leading urban air mobility company. It says, our vision is to improve mobility and drive the world towards zero emission future. I think that's significant because that is a major part of this entire objective, is that you're going zero emission. We're again focusing on a clean air, clean energy type thing. And I could not be more excited about the opportunity and everything it provides. So what we're going to do is we're going to dive in just a little bit more in this United Airlines and Stellantis, partnerships and things like that. So it says United Airlines orders worth $1 billion plus options, additional $500 million aircraft, represents the largest eVTOL purchase in history. Key equity holder and strategic partner. And it says delivery of aircraft starting in 2024. Strategic benefits, strategic cooperation around FAA certification. Again, I kind of really hit on this with drones, and I think that's going to be a very major and significant piece when you're talking about urban air mobility. You start talking about air taxis. I think you're talking about really some restrictions and things that you're going to have to really kind of pass and really prove to the FAA that we can do this in a safe, productive manner. Again, we're seeing the steps that are being taken and how long it's taking for drones to really get the approval to do what they need to do. And I think it's going to be very similar to this. You want to make sure that you're displaying to your customers, to obviously the entire big picture of things, specifically the FAA, that this is a safe and very successful process. So continuing on, it says again, strategic cooperation around FAA certification, airline flight connections, pilot and maintenance crew training. It says support for Archer's go-to market strategy for city launches and airport connections, and I think that's extremely important. I really do. So here we go. Stellantis. It says strategic automotive OEM partner with a multi-year collaboration agreement. It says Fiat Chrysler, Automobiles Nevada, and Peugeot SA, which I believe is how you pronounce that, recently merged to become Stellantis, the fourth largest automotive manufacturer in the world by volume, benefit from OEM global footprint for economies of scale, partnerships focused on high volume composite manufacturing and access to low cost automotive grade supply chain, supporting Archer on composite materials, NVH design, and access to Stellantis supply chain with focus on reducing component costs with the immediate focus on battery materials. So right there is a major key partnership, and I think that this is all very good information. Now, one of the big pieces that I really wanted to focus on when I was talking about Archer is their two different styles of their business models. So let's dive in and really talk about the two separate, business models that they have. The first one is going to be Archer Direct, which we can talk about is the aircraft OEM business itself. And then you have Archer UAM, which is going to be aerial ride sharing business. So obviously two different streams of revenue right there, two completely different business models. And so I like to hear that. So let's dive right into the first one, which is going to be Archer Direct aircraft OEM business. It says Archer's goal is to build the next great US-based aerospace manufacturer. Archer is the only eVTOL company in the world with a contract from a major airline, which will help finance and accelerate Archer's expansion into urban air mobility. Option to further diversify into cargo and Department of Defense. That is a very significant piece as well. When you start talking about Department of Defense, you start talking about government entities, and you start talking about cargo and really doing deliveries, I think that is extremely significant. And why I really think that Archer is kind of a step ahead to some is for that reason right there. So Archer's UAM aerial ride sharing business. Now we're talking about the other business model. It says currently UAM includes moving people less than 100 miles in city centers and beyond. Earlier launch markets will focus on highly congested cities such as Los Angeles, Dallas-Fort Worth, and Orlando. The first phase of UAM go-to market is expected to rely on existing and retrofitted infrastructure. As you guys heard me in the very beginning of this, I do think that is a major piece that really needs to kind of be built up, is going to be the overall infrastructure. As they continue to grow and expand, I feel like you're going to start to see more, skyports developed, more skyports put into major cities. And we obviously understand Lilium has a big deal going in Florida, and I wouldn't be surprised if Archer and some others start to really put up some skyports in some very significant cities. So that's a big piece for me. As UAM scales, Archer expects to work with aligned development partners to build high throughput vertiports that can accommodate hundreds of takeoffs and landings per hour. So there you go. I really do enjoy providing numbers because I think you actually display hard evidence. You show what the capabilities are, and really some of these numbers are very really intriguing, especially if these are numbers that they expect to hit when it comes to revenue and really kind of the direction the company and really this sector is going to head. So let's dive into this. And it says urban air mobility is projected to be a highly profitable and enormous market. And I could not agree more. It says in order to drive profitability, Archer plans to operate its fleet vehicles of urban air mobility. Direct operating costs will decline over time through scale manufacturing, battery energy density improvements, and autonomy. It says over the life of aircraft, we believe that urban air mobility business will be 3 times more profitable than direct OEM sales. I would have to agree. I think when you start talking about ride sharing versus actually selling and distributing obviously the aircraft versus just producing it and then ride sharing it, I think over time that'll be more efficient. This is one of my favorite things to do, and that is going to check out timelines of companies. You can see where a company started, where it has gotten to, and where it forecasts or projects to be in the future. I think that's extremely exciting because then once you actually get to that point in the future, you can go back and see what the company has checked off, and I think that's extremely significant. So you can see the success that the company has had. That's exactly what we're going to do here, and we're going to start in 2018 to 2020. It says that Archer built a world-class team. They built a world-class team with combined 200 years of eVTOL experience. Unique technology design driving superior aircraft performance, safety, and mass manufacturing. I do have to agree, mass manufacturing is going to be significant. And it says working with the FAA towards a type certificate in 2024. I think that's another major piece because you're knocking out a major hurdle in the FAA. I mean, guys, I cover drones and I know how tough it is, especially with the FAA. So now the years we're going to be talking about are 2021 to 2024. So right where we are now and where we're heading in the future. So it says product and go market focus. Booked $1 billion in orders, demonstrate Marker's ability to be the highest performance and safest eVTOL. Again, right there, safety. Number one, highest performance we expect, number one safety thing. I mean, that's a big time deal. Approved Department of Defense Airworthiness Certificate. That is massive. That is extremely big time. When you start talking about the Department of Defense, you start talking about government entities. Like I said earlier, this is a big deal. Continue to secure future aircraft sale orders. And it says receive type certification from FAA for Archer's conforming aircraft in 2024. I think that's beyond what you're looking for. It really is. That would be a very significant time span. And then we're going to go ahead and jump into 2024 to 2027. This is where you start mass manufacturing and really ramping up that entire objective. It says delivering aircraft to partners and launching aerial ride-sharing business in the U.S. cities. It says high volume composite manufacturing to tackle large total addressable market, gearing up for scale autonomy certification and operations. And it says get to free cash flow break even in Q4 of 2025. So they plan on being to get free cash flow by the year of 2025 and Q4. I think that's significant. So that is a really big timeline as well. That's when you really start to get to a point where you're mass producing, you're getting everything you need out and about, and you're getting it rolling. And then 2027 to 2030, you're looking at globally scaling the operation. Launch fully autonomous capabilities, increase safety, reduce costs, and scale faster. Prepare for launch in Europe, Middle East, and Asia. And it says help drive the world to a zero emission future. So really, this is a very good timeline because you can see what really kind of from the infant stages what this company is planning on doing to where they expect to be by 2030. I think that's extremely significant, and really I enjoy seeing that stuff. I do. And now we've come to my favorite part of any video, and that is chart breaking down time. So let's swing on over here and check out ACIC and see what it's all about. So this is going to be Atlas Crest Investments Corporation, the SPAC. And it opened today at $12.91. It got as high as $13.37. The low is $12.65. Its volume is 3.953 million. Its market cap currently is $803.1 million. 52-week high is $18.60. Its 52-week low is $9.73. And its average volume is 3.164 million. It closed today at $12.85. That was up 7.98%. And it continued to climb in the after hours, wrapping out the day completely at $13.09, up 1.87%. Now we're looking at a one-day chart, and the reason is just because I want to see, on a consistent day, more or less what it did. And that's exactly what it did. It basically stayed on a very even keel, even playing field for the whole day. It wasn't too dramatic in the upward or downward direction. Guys, so I want to be honest with you guys. I am not invested in this company as of right now. I do foresee this being a very, very significant company in this sector. My only concerns are very similar to how some of these EV vehicle companies have played out. Is they jump into the market, they become a company that obviously goes through the SPAC, and they come out on the opposite end. And, they don't really have anything at the moment. We just went through the timeline. We were able to see, the significance of how far out they forecast until they're really in mass production and they're getting this thing rolling. I do think that this infrastructure needs to be really built out. And I think that there is a lot to expect until the FAA gives this thing a full approval. Like it says, even not until 2025. So you're still years away from this even happening on a full scale of really from the FAA standpoint. Like I said, guys, I'm not negative on this. I believe in the direction. I just think that we're a long ways off until this really becomes a very profitable company. And this goes for this entire sector, guys. I think that we are still a ways away. So I will definitely get in, and this could be something that, you know, people add and keep adding when they can, or maybe they're just extremely interested in this, or maybe they're just not interested at all because they just don't feel that it will be very productive. You know, I see all 3 points. I can see how each one is very intriguing to each individual. So that's my take on it. Like I said, I am not negative. I don't believe that this is going to happen. I just think that we're a couple years away before it really becoming relevant. I appreciate you swinging by and checking out this video on Archer. I really do. I appreciate you so much, guys. We are absolutely doing some amazing things when it comes to this YouTube channel, and I'm forever grateful for anyone who participates and watches these videos. I do want to remind you guys, I am not a financial advisor, and anything I say in this video is for pure entertainment purposes only. And that's exactly what I'm here to do, is entertain. And you guys know how I do it. If you like this video, smash that like button. It helps out tremendously. And if you enjoy the content, because I'm going to keep the content flowing, subscribe to my YouTube channel. And as always, have a good day.